Hi, I'm Kian, and I want to thank you guys so much for 300 subscribers. I am so happy and grateful to all of you who have subscribed, liked, shared, or even just watched my videos. Basically, just engaging with my content. Today, I want to do something special for you guys. I actually planned this video to celebrate 100 subscribers, but in the span of 1 week, I've gotten 200 more. Again, thank you guys so much. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna show you some of my old artwork. Why not do a sketchbook tour? Because my sketchbooks are all a mess. A lot of unfinished sketches, my homework, random shits, and a concerning amount of Smurf drawings. Basically, I don't have a single sketchbook that's just drawing. And even if I do, it's not gonna be interesting to look at because I don't color my traditional art. Anyways, enough with the yapperoni, let's just begin. Hold up, before we start, I feel like I need to tell you the full story. Lord I've been drawing since I was like really little. Unfortunately, these old drawings, ancient drawings, are lost media because they got lost in a flood. There was a flood and it soaked a lot of my drawings. And it was a muddy flood, so the drawings were damaged and unsalvageable. Years of drawings just gone. Oof. I didn't really think much of it at the time because, well, my old drawings were not the only one affected. My school projects and assignments were too, and they were the bigger problems for me. I had to do a lot of explaining to the teachers, and one of them got mad at me asking why I didn't save her assignments when I was busy saving my life. Okay, we're gone off topic now. I still get mad when I think of that. Now for real though, enough with the yapperoni, let's start. The oldest drawing that I have dated back to 2018. This was the year when I really became serious about art, like trying to improve and learn. I call this era Discovery Era. I thought an interesting way to do this is to show the old artworks in eras because I went through a lot of art style changes, as most artists do. So the Discovery Era was basically me following a bunch of art tutorials or copying from anime, my biggest obsession at the time. I didn't know what I'm doing, I just followed tutorials blindly and then get frustrated when the final result doesn't look like what they did in the tutorials. It was a tough time. As helpful as tutorial videos are, they can be boring. And my short attention span especially when I was, 13, 14 at the time, could not handle them. So I resorted to copying from anime illustrations. Getting out of the beginner phase is tough. If you are in this phase, don't give up. Things will get better, you will improve, especially now resources are endless on the internet. Tutorials are entertaining and funny. As long as you know what your goal is with your art, there is an artist out there who can help you. My lifelong OC Akira was birthed during this era. I don't use him anymore because he wasn't just an OC, he was like a self-insert and Sona. But as you can see, he is light skinned and I am not. I'm not gonna get into it. Maybe I will make a video about it. I've seen a lot of dark skinned artists talk about their white Sonas, and I feel like I want to talk about mine too, but that's for another time. I also experimented with different styles during this era. I was a huge fan of Lucky Star, it's an anime, and I tried to copy the art style. This is Tomoe. I redrew her in one of my older videos. I honestly think this style is kinda cute, but it didn't last long because, oh boy, I can't believe I'm gonna admit this on the internet. I used to be a Loud House fan. The Loud House fandom has a reputation, they have a reputation, let's just say that. But I was a fan of the show once, and the art style of the show did influence me for a while. A lot of the artworks in this era are another victim of the flood. I used to have a whole sketchbook with drawings in this era. Now I know, these look more like South Park style, but believe me, I was influenced by the Loud House. It was the eyes, the way they draw eyes. I didn't draw noses, and noses continue to be the bane of my existence throughout my art journey. I struggled with drawing noses. Not anymore though, but we'll get into it later. This era birthed Akira's lifelong partner. His name is Fakir. I got his name from Princess Tutu. There's a character named Fakir. As I said before, Akira was a self-insert slash Sona, so Fakir was really my ideal guy at the time. Bad boy, edgy. Well, I guess I haven't changed in some ways. Nothing else I can say because these are all the artwork that I have from this era. Then I got back into drawing in anime style again. This time was for real. I pushed myself to follow all the tutorials. So I feel like the drawings in this era look a bit better from the Discovery era. Most of the drawings are of Akira and Fakir, and I also created an OC named Faith. She never really had any personality. She was based on Konata because, like I said, I was really into Lucky Star, but I never really did anything with her. This is Sexy Demon Guy. He's another one that I redrew in my video. Make sure to check that out after this video. I really love that necklace, huh? I gave a lot of characters that necklace. Aw, I remember this drawing. I was so proud of it. Should I bring back Akira? I did bring back Fakir, but he completely became a different person. I feel like I need to make a video reviving these two lovebirds. Anyways, I drew in this style for a while until I discovered
Hey everybody, it's Lavender Town.
I was a huge fan of her. I watch her videos religiously. She is still popular today, still turning random shits into cute girls. I was influenced by her to switch from anime style to a more western style. For a while, I did copy her art style, but then I sort of made it my own, but with clear influence from her. And this era, I like to call the peak era. Now, why do I call it the peak era? Because this was the most creative time in my life so far. It was also during the lockdown and pandemic, so I had more time to draw. Matter of fact, when I sorted the drawings into eras, this eras folder has the most drawings in them. I also feel like I had the most fun with art during this time. I also improved a lot during this era. There was still a lot to learn, but I feel like if an artist would show me this as their work now, I would be like, wow, that's really good. Maybe it's delusion, maybe it's nostalgia bias, but whatever. It may not look great or anything, and I might be better skill-wise now, but nothing can ever beat the pure joy that I felt when making art during this time. Oh, how I wish we could turn back time. A main feature of this era was the button nose. As I said previously, I struggled to draw noses, so this was my solution for that, just drew them as buttons. Fakir and Akira were still around, though Akira got a haircut, but I also created a lot of other characters that I still draw today. Bella, Yvonne, Richard. This was also the first time that I ever tried digital art. This Snow White drawing was my first ever digital drawing. Finger artist, I used to be one of you, okay? And it was a struggle. I don't understand how some people can create masterpieces with just their fingers. Can't be me. It was also during this time that I started posting my artwork online. My first ever attempt was on Instagram. I was at Luminous. I garnered about 80 followers and quit about a month after. This artwork was supposed to be an art trade. Apparently it's a character from Cookie Run or Cookie Kingdom. I don't know anything about the game. It was supposed to be an art trade. I drew this for them and they never drew anything back for me. I believe I gave them this to drop, but they never did. My second attempt was 6 months later, still on Instagram, this time at Apolepsy. Yes, it sounds like epilepsy. That's where I got the name from. I didn't know what it meant, I just thought it was a cool sounding word. I posted a bunch of artwork, some fan arts, but most of them are draw this in your style challenges because at the time, that was a great way to get exposure. I don't know if it still is, things might have changed. I don't remember who the artists that made these challenges were. I believe this one is from an artist called Try Again, but the rest I have no clue. Credit to them though. This drawing is a redraw from the first art account, and I am actually gonna redraw it again on
Saturday.
This video. Hopefully. Last week I made a huge hoopla about giving you an extra video. I am gifting you an extra video this week.
Liar!
But I got sick and that extra video ended up becoming the only video of the week, but I digress. Of course, I did some traditional art too, but most of my focus was on the art account. Unfortunately, history repeats itself and I quit once again. But not for long because I came back again. On YouTube this time at Convict. Now I know the name sounds like Convict. But back then, I didn't know. English is not my first language. I didn't know that I was calling myself a criminal. On the YouTube channel, I made a grand total of 2 videos. And guess what? I quit. Then for a while, I continued drawing for myself, not posting them online. And during this time, I got into royal history. Why is this relevant? Because it seeped into my art. This period of time, I made a bunch of drawings of queens because I didn't give a flying about kings. Lindsay Holiday was my girl. I binge her videos all day. And once again, I decided to post my art online. And it's more niche this time. It's within the royal history fandom. I went by Francis of York. Unlike the other three accounts, this one is still up. I posted a lot of drawings of queens and one king and one prince. This account was the most successful out of any attempts of me posting art online, at least at the time. I only got 140-ish followers. It might not sound much, but that's a win in my book. Here in the Iconic channel, we celebrate small wins. I entered a Draw This in Your Style challenge and won second place. But history repeats itself once again and I quit. This time it was because of school. The lockdown restriction was lifted and we had to go back to school, so I had no time to draw. And unfortunately, during this time, a few tragedies happened to me. Without getting too deep into it, I firstly lost a family member, and then the flood happened. I was really down, so I stopped drawing for a while, for months actually. My grades also dropped, so I had to shift my focus back to studying. But soon enough, I got back into drawing, and I actually went back into anime style. Welcome to Anime Era Part 2. I don't know why I made this decision, but I drew in anime style for a while after I got back into drawing. Akira and Fakir were left in the past. Some of the other characters survived. Richard survived. I don't know how. But this was also the birth of Mickey. I think Mickey replaced Fakir. My taste in men changed, so I ditched Fakir and created Mickey. I also drew a lot of fan arts. This is Izzy's. How do you say their name? I always say Izzy's. It's probably just Izzy. This is Pudding from Robot Chicken. This is Steve Reviews. He makes videos reviewing animations. I guess I made a fan art of him. I don't even remember this one. Yeah, I definitely improved since the last time I drew in anime style. Then I went to college and continued drawing in this anime style, but I think I improved more during this time. This drawing of stocking is really good. Am I just delusional? I don't know. Low-key, I think these are so good. I love this style and they're much more cleaner because I used to not clean my sketch at all. There are some K-pop fan arts. I also got into K-pop during this time. This is a fan art of Vivis. Check out their new song, La La Love Me. Not me promoting Vivis better than BPM. Girl, bye. I found some disturbing drawings from this era. These look like one of those uncanny valley faces, like police sketches. Have you seen this man in your dream? Walton Files, Mandela Catalog, or any analog horror creators, if you want to use this too, you have my permission. There weren't that much digital drawing for a while, but that's about to change because I got a tablet with stylus, bitch. No more finger drawings. No Tino shade to all the Ibis Paint and finger artists out there. I'm out of the club. And I continued improving my skills, but I feel like I was lacking creativity during this time because most of the characters that I drew are other people's. I had a Pinterest board called Things to Draw, and it's full of draw this in your style challenges on Pinterest. And for a long time, these were all I drew. My OCs were neglected. They were kicking and crying and screaming in the basement, and I just ignored them. Instead, I drew other people's OCs. I have no idea why I did this. I'm guessing art block, but it was all I drew, so I don't really know. Another problem that I had was that I took so long to draw. Like a sketch took me about a day. Not fully rendered, not with line art, just the sketch. This drawing took me 15 hours. Not straight, obviously, because I took breaks and I got distracted sometimes. So it took me a whole day just for this. And it's not even a clean sketch. I noticed this problem and decided to switch to a more simpler and more cartoony art style. And we entered what I like to call the rediscovery era. I at first tried to bring back my peak era art style, However, I was unsatisfied because I couldn't portray diversity with this style. I tried, but I was not happy with how it turned out. So I made a few tweaks and I landed on this art style. But I didn't find it appealing, so I changed it to this. Finally, I was happy enough with how it looks, but I soon realized that the noses looked the same. And the anatomy is off because I was spending so much time figuring how the faces should look, I never draw bodies. What happened to Mickey? How did he turn from this to this? Also, Kyle was born during this time. And finally, after a lot of studying and figuring shit out, we arrived to the current era. I've been drawing in this art style for about a year now. At first, it was mostly about figuring out anatomy and proportions. I was inspired by Kim Possible. Someone have commented that my art style reminds them of 2000s cartoons, and yes, that's accurate, I would say. This art style have two versions, one with more cartoony anatomy and one with more semi-realistic-ish anatomy. I'm using that term very lightly. I love my art now. I'm happy that I finally stick to one art style. Is it bad to have multiple art styles? No. Matter of fact, I think I'm still going to attempt to bring back my peak era art style to be my alternative style, you know? Now I know a lot of artists would tell you not to worry about art styles and just draw, and someday you will find one that sticks. That's true. But as you can see from my story, maybe you won't find one that sticks. Maybe I will change my art style again in the future. Who knows? People change, their tastes change, and their style changes with them. But at the end of the day, as long as you're having fun drawing, who can tell you what to do? Thank you again for 300 subscribers. Stay tuned for
Saturday.
video to see me redrawing some digital arts from this video. If you have been watching up until this point, thank you and I'll see you
Saturday.
hopefully